Hi Scorpio, welcome to your fortnightly tarot reading with me, Raphael Ray from Radiant Reality. It's an absolute pleasure to have you. So, I'm doing a fortnightly reading with the same format as the monthlies this week. And the reason being is because I am actually off on holiday. I'm off on my travels. As many of you know, it is much needed. So I will be enjoying that, and I'm hoping I can snatch a few minutes to do something live while I'm over there, but I won't promise. So anyway, enough about me. This is about you guys. I would like to call into both of these decks all forms of love, light, peace, prosperity and abundance, and I hope that the messages that come through are ultimately clear and concise, and they help you on your path to your highest vibrational good. So let's see what the next fortnight has in store for you. Okay. So your actions in the world. Wow, that's very interesting. So Libra just had this card pop out. It was the first card out for them as well. I'm going to say the same thing that I said for them. This is about, so in terms of a person, the Queen of Cups would represent a Pisces, a Scorpio, or a Cancerian female. So whether you're male or female is irrelevant. This is you. This is you in the world. This puts you in a direct situation and a feeling of power, because you've come up as yourself in the reading. So I don't even need to talk about this being an archetype of yourself, because this is yourself. So the interesting thing about this is the Queen of Cups, in terms of the energy of the person, is somebody that is kind, warm, emotional, intuitive, somebody that is nurturing of spirit, somebody that's very giving, very kind. These are the things that you want to demonstrate in your actions this week. These are the things that you really want to show people. This is how you put your best foot forward over the next fortnight. It's really important that people get to see the softer side of you now. It's really important that, because people have seen the strength. They know the strength of a Scorpio. They know the commanding of respect that you guys have when you walk into a place. It's about, you have a presence about you. And how could you not when, the darkest sign, but most enlightened actually. When you walk into a room, you cannot help but notice a Scorpio. There's a depth and an intensity there that just won't be ignored. So that's why you can't go anywhere and just blend in, because it's not part of your makeup. But all of that aside, this is now about people seeing the nurturing side of you. It's about people seeing the lighter and brighter side of you. It's about people getting to finally see why you are considered so enlightened, how you are able to transmute the apparent darkness, for lack of a better word, how you're able to transmute that energy into pure emotion, into pure feeling, into clear feeling. It's really important that you show people this softer side of yourself, because when you demonstrate that and you act differently towards them, you start to allow them to act from another place within themselves. It's about showing people, it's okay to be vulnerable. It's okay to be a bit softer. It's okay to open yourself up and show all aspects and facets of self, instead of just the ones that you're known for, that people generalise and stereotype you by because it makes them comfortable. So effectively this week, by being more yourself and showing people the softer side of you, you challenge the idea of I'm being what I'm supposed to be. Because many people just go through life and, they're not necessarily being true to who they are. They're being true to the idea that people, the idea of what people think they are. And that's not, that's not the way that it's meant to be. You're supposed to just be yourself. So really, really interesting. Your actions this week put you in a direct seat of power, and that gives you the space internally and the platform externally to really demonstrate who you are and just how much depth of character you have, but more importantly, how kind you truly are. So your money and your materials. Ooh, beautiful. So you've got the Two of Wands, and the Two of Wands is affluent people. The Two of Wands is, the world in the palm of your hand. The Two of Wands is stepping out of the past and into the future. This is a card of very, very affluent people. When you see this card, money is making its way to you. The chances are it will come through a female, probably a sister water sign to you. So, you know, this is something, or somebody actually, for you to look out for. Because when you see the Two of Wands, it is very much the action of having, the action of gaining, the action of acquisition. And it talks about, you know, it's very affluent people. So we're talking about a Scorpio female, you know, so this is you. This is about seeing yourself as people see you. You might not necessarily have a lot of money, but you command that respect, you command that presence, and now you need to understand that, because that's how you're going to start to attract to you the things, the places and the people and the situations that are going to generate the kind of prosperity that you're looking for. For those of you that are in business, this is you meeting somebody of this ilk, somebody that would be considered in terms of business the big fish. This is you catching hold of or working with somebody or meeting somebody over the next fortnight that really, you know, that has nothing to prove, because they're wealthy, they've made their money, they've made their mark on whatever industry it is that they work in, and they take a shine into you, Scorpio. They take a shine into how it is that you do things, to what it is that your personal way of doing things demonstrates. And it all starts with this. It starts with you being true to your authentic self and saying, you know what, I'm not just the hard or the sting in the scorpion's tail. I'm actually a lot more than that. I'm a lot more than people give me credit for. And let me show you that. Let me demonstrate that to you. And by putting that foot forward, the right people, the people that can really help you make moves, the movers and the shakers, start to get attracted and drawn into your life, into your situation. Really, really powerful stuff. For those of you that are looking to generate finance, prosperity or wealth, this comes to you through a female. Probably a sister or a sister water sign, or somebody that exhibits those traits. And the way that you connect with them is by being your true to your authentic self. So the next card is your heart and your half, your relationships, your interaction with other people. Okay, so this is great. Really interesting. You've got the Hanged Man. And the Hanged Man represents waiting. It represents stillness. It also represents Neptune, because it's, you know, represents the sign of Pisces. This is a card of acceptance. It's a card of acceptance, understanding, and therefore enlightenment. Now, the fact that this falls in your emotions or your personal relationships, the interesting thing here that I have to say to you is this is not the time to be a martyr. It's not the time for you to, you know, like I said, be your authentic self, show the softer side of you. That's not to say be a pushover. It's not to say, like, oh, well, in that case I shall suffer for my art, or any of that stuff. There's no honour or nobility in suffering. There really isn't. And so this kind of talks about acceptance. But this is about acceptance of your future. And there's one Scorpio in particular that I have this conversation on running tap with, and I know he's laughing right now as he's watching this, because this is the conversation that we have. Sometimes your past is your past, but stepping into the future requires you to be on stage. That's what I said about this, stepping out of the past and into the future. And where before you may have been somebody that worked behind the scenes, you can't afford to do that now. So this is about you accepting the fact that you need to be in the limelight, that your interactions, your relationships need to be elevated, and more importantly, they need to be enlightened. And the way they become enlightened is by you opening up more of yourself, by demonstrating more of who you are and putting yourself more out there on the stage. And that comes with a certain amount of vulnerability. You know, it makes us very vulnerable to have to expose who we actually are and start sharing things about ourselves and all that sort of stuff. It's a different experience, it's a different energy, but it's one that you will be very thankful for going forward. Not least because it's going to dispel some of the illusions around who you are. And when you can start to do that, you can start to show people, this is who I actually am, this is what I'm capable of. And then, like I said, the right people start to pay attention. You know, really, really powerful stuff, really exciting stuff. So, even those of you that are partnered and coupled, the next 2 weeks is going to be a bit of a solitary period. And if people say to you, oh, you know, you seem withdrawn, what's going on? Just say to them, I'm just taking some time for myself. And this is one of the things as well, you know, don't be a martyr by giving away your free time or by giving away your chill time or your me time. You know, that's just as important. But equally, this is going to be very much, you know, the personal relationship takes a backseat so that your worldly and external interaction can grow, can flourish, can be fed and nurtured. Very interesting. Your communications, beautiful, 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 beautiful. So the King of Cups, who is the King of Pentacles even? Who's the King of Pentacles? King of Pentacles would be a Taurus, a Virgo or a Capricorn male. This is somebody that's steady, practical, grounded, somebody that's hard-working, somebody that's in it for the long haul, somebody that knows their stuff, somebody that is slow and relentless in their pursuit of their accomplishments. Absolutely. This person can sometimes as well be borderline a little bit boring, you know, and the total opposite to you, because water is feeling, it's moving, it's flowing, whereas earth is fixed and it stands. Even though, Scorpio, you are the fixed water sign, you're still a water sign. So although you'll be able to have some overlap of where you understand this person and vice versa, you are working from very, very different viewpoints, from very different standpoints. And that's because although you share that fixed quality of earth, your elements, your elemental difference is, you know, very, very different. But that's a very complementary energy, because when you get water and earth together, you get growth. You know, this is you coming up as yourself. And then you've got this person, and this represents your communications. This talks about, you know, you succeeding, because the King of Pentacles isn't, in terms of what it represents or the energy it represents, this is accomplishment, attainment, you know, bringing things into the manifest world, actuality. You know, this is making something very, very real. That's what it talks about, you know. So it's a really, really great card to end on. And it's a good card to get in your communication, because it means that people are going to hear what you say and they're going to take that on board and they're going to work from that. It's not that they're going to take on board and, you know, take out what, you know, what people usually do. They take out what works for them or what they want to hear and they leave the rest. This is people taking you at, you know, at the value of your word and saying, right, okay, I've heard this, and I'm going to go with that, and I'm going to treat you and work with you based on what it is that you're telling me. So this week, be very, very careful not to try and deceive anybody, you know, whether subconsciously or consciously, because it will backfire on you, because people will take you at your word over the next 2 weeks. So it's really, really important that you put your best foot forward by communicating exactly what it is that you want. Say what you mean and mean what you say. My dad told me those words, and I tell you what, I've lived by them as much as possible, and they've never steered me wrong. So this is very much a fortnight to do that exactly, especially in your communications. Say what you mean and mean what you say. So your destiny for the next fortnight. What is the overarching theme that you need? Ooh. It's all going on. Right, so one card in particular popped out, and it is on the floor. The Star card. Beautiful card to end on, because it represents wish fulfillment and manifestation. The Star card talks about an opportunity. It talks about an opportunity to finally achieve that which you have set into motion. So something that you started now starts to yield results. Something that you put out there into the world now starts to come back at you and become tangible, and starts to become something that you can actually utilise, something that you can work with, something that you can touch. It's no longer just a concept, it's no longer just an idea, it's now a manifest thing. You know, it's something that's coming into the world. And more importantly, this card represents the sign of Aquarius. It represents you finding your tribe. You know, over the next fortnight, you're really going to be very gifted in terms of finding people and like-minded souls, especially those of you that are in remote places. You know, this is going to be you connecting with people where you haven't before, you know, and really relishing in that, and finding stability and security in places that you wouldn't usually search for it for. It's one of the things about Scorpio. You guys are very much lone creatures. You know, even those of you that are coupled and partnered, you withdraw to your own space. as a lot of water signs do. You know, they have a personal hidden depth to them. They all do. So I wish you an abundance of love, light, peace, prosperity, and abundance itself. To the don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel. I'd be eternally grateful for it. For those of you that have subscribed already, that are my continued subbies, I love you so much. Thank you so much for your time, your honour, and your support. For those of you that are just passing through, thank you. I hope you found something that works for you. And more importantly, for those of you that are, well, not most importantly, but just as importantly, for those of you that are new subbies, welcome to Radiant Reality, and thank you so much. If you would like to book a reading with me, you can do so below. And if you would like to donate to the channel, if you feel like this has helped you in some way, shape or form, please feel free. We would love you forever for it. Take care, and I will see you soon.